you go. All right. Welcome. Welcome to Cup of Joe. Hope everyone is doing well on this beautiful spring morning. Flowers are out. Animals are buzzing. I've seen some insects. It's good. This is good. Today's episode is called Pass the Torch. We'll get into that in just a second. As always, share this post, share this live stream, send it via carrier pigeon. Shout out to Nicole, or send it along on your Facebook profile. All of those things to make this grow, bloom, and blossom. Today's guest is flutist, music educator, and humanitarian Adam Eccleston. He'll be on after just one song. Stick around, it's going to be a great conversation. Adam is so full of joy. As always, you can support this program at Venmo or PayPal. You can see the links right here on the bottom of the screen. And if you're not on the email list, if you're not on the mailing list, you should definitely get on that. The website is jokai.com/joinjoe. If you sign up for the mailing list, you will get a free tour, a video tour of my home studio. I'll show you some of my favorite instruments, where I try to take naps, all of that. So go to jokai.com/joinjoe. All right, a little story time. So today's theme is Pass the Torch. As many of you know, I moved to the U.S. when I was 6 years old. I didn't speak a lick of English. I knew two phrases: hello and thank you. Those were the two words that I knew. And so, as soon as I got here, I was shocked. Right, I was a talkative kid, as you can see right now. And I learned very early on that you got to learn this language. So I was in ESL, but before that, the first day of school, I went to school. My teacher's name was literally Miss Whitehouse, Mrs. Whitehouse, in Lexington, Massachusetts. And when I came home, I was weeping. So many things that I wanted to say, that I wanted to share, that I wanted to prove to my classmates and to my teacher that I was unable to because I didn't have the language. Fast forward to fourth grade, I'm out of ESL, and I'm a growing musician. I've always loved singing, and fourth grade, Miss Wiedemeyer lets us know, the music teacher, that we have the option of choosing an instrument, and they will instruct us how to play that instrument. And so I chose the violin. And what I loved about the violin from that point on really is the fact that everyone was starting from the same place, right? So nobody knew what the A string was or the E string was. Nobody knew how to, hold the violin properly. This is not how you're supposed to hold the violin properly. Nobody knew how to hold the violin bow properly, and I still don't hold the violin bow properly. um, yeah, but everyone was starting from the same place. And whatever you put into it, you got right back. So, I would spend, half an hour practicing over the summer, and it was so beautiful because all of the things that I was feeling, I could put right back into the music. It's how I express, right? Self-expression. And that to me is what pass the torch means. I'm not going to choose when I go. Neither will you. I hope that's not a newsflash. God forbid, I might just walk out the door and a truck might drive by and boom, I'm gone. So, I won't be around to enjoy my legacy, but I think what I can do in every passing moment of my career as a musician is to pass that torch on, right? How can I inspire other people? Maybe it's not music, but to express themselves and light that fire for self-expression through the arts. So that is why we are doing what we are doing today. Yeah, and that's why we have Adam on as a guest. All right, here we go. I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna play Daughter, I think. Yeah, Daughter is kind of about the opposite of that. What happens when instead of leaving behind warmth to future generations, what happens if you don't? If you leave behind insecurity, what happens if you leave behind feelings that you're not good enough? So this is Daughter. This is Coffee. Candlelit dinners filled with spam and ketchup to the neighbor. Little she knows about the world she left behind. Receiver, hang up the phone if someone calls and you don't recognize her. Lullaby is caught up in the memory of the past. Goodbye and spilling your guts to no one on the floor except your mother. Filling your lungs with all the gases of your noble father. Taking it back cause it was never yours to start it over to your grandma's house she loved but never knew she had a daughter. If I could be better and cooler and taller, I would sit next to you. If only you could have seen under my letter, I would sit next to you. I stayed in tune until the teacher told me I don't have it. I gave it to the student, she forgot her dinner blessing. Sit for the lesson, I can promise if you're patriotic. Please don't leave this country that became a prison and a habit. I play for you, but mostly me. I need an answer. How can you root a tree that never had a chance to water? So let me drink to glory days locked in the distant future. Yes, it's getting cold, the crowds are hungry, and it's getting darker. If I could be better and cooler and taller, I would sit next to you. If only you could have seen under my letter, I would sit next to you. Feels good every time. Oh, I have some echo. Hello. Nice. It's wonderful always to play that song. It makes me feel happy. Nice. Ben's on YouTube here. Yeah. Coolin. Twitch. I have a Twitch now. That's the thing. So y'all should check that out. All right, we are going on. We are going to go to the interview. It is my honor, it is my pleasure to welcome to the show Adam Eccleston. This is pre-recorded, so you'll actually see a really quick wardrobe change. But after that, I'll be hanging out with y'all. So Please give it up for flutist, music educator, and humanitarian Adam Eccleston. Eccleston. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's my pleasure to have you. Thank you for agreeing to be on.
Well, with your beautiful face, I could never say
Ah,
no. I could
ding.
never say no. See, that's the reason why I can't say no. That's
Just the
it.
face. That's what I'm going for. Just launching a whole line. No music, just the
A
album.
whole line.
No,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just the
Mm-hmm.
face. As
That's all that matters.
as
Face.
always, thank you so much to Trailhead Coffee Roasters for sponsoring this conversation here on Cup of Joe. Delicious coffee. You should check it out. Local roaster. Adam, let's start off the interview like we start off every single interview. Uh, if you have a childhood memory that you could share with us, a memory of significance.
I would have to say, when I moved to Germany, I was about 10 years old. And then I had a bike and I would ride down to the downtown area. It's in Bad Kreuznach. And I remember going to the Kaufhof, which is big German like mall type. It's like a wall, not even like a Walmart, even bigger than a Walmart. It's like a multi-level. It's like a mall. And I used to go to the downstairs area. That's where they'd have all the CDs and such. And I would just spend hours on a Saturday just going through the different orchestral CDs and solo flute CDs, and with my money that my parents would give me from, you know, chores and stuff, I would just go ahead and go crazy. I would spend hours in there. So that was one of my favorite childhood
Mm.
memories. Another one when we moved to Wiesbaden. So I spent 6 years in Bad Kreuznach and then about 5 years in Wiesbaden. So when I was when I was in Wiesbaden, I must have been probably around like 15, 16 years old. Again, riding my bike, I loved riding my
Mm.
bike. I would go every Saturday to the Marktkirche, which is the downtown area of Wiesbaden, and I would go to organ concerts. I would literally sit and enjoy 50 minutes of organ music in this gorgeous, huge cathedral. It's called the Marktkirche. And I was like 15, 16 years old. I wish I could big friends, but they weren't into that stuff. But I loved it. Oh, it brings so much joy. I remember the time when I heard Bach D
Mm.
minor, the Prelude and
Mm.
Fugue. Heaven. And it was just everywhere. I was like, oh.
Heaven and
It
hell
was
too,
so
right? I mean, that's a yeah,
exactly.
that piece. It just yeah, there's the whole from heaven on down all the way. Um, Man, I
Yes.
feel like we would have gotten along really well. One of my favorite memories is summer vacation. I would rollerblade. To, I would rollerblade to the bookstore, to Barnes and Noble, and like half the time I'd be reading Batman graphic novels, not buying, of course, but they don't care. Um,
Uh-huh.
and then the other half, I would just go over there and random sections, right, of the CD cases, just plug that one in. What's this? What's on tap
Uh-huh.
here? And yeah,
Uh-huh.
um,
Good
yeah. And
times.
then yeah, Seattle Youth Symphony, Seattle being where I grew up, they had $10 tickets for students to any Seattle Symphony show. Um, and you would get the front row seat, which is not sonically, acoustically a very good seat, but when you're a kid, you're 15, 16 years old, and you're a violinist too, right? So you see the violinist and you hear, and it was, yeah, all of it.
That's awesome.
um ooh ooh so
Yeah.
take us there, take us to the music place, Adam. What We're gonna do a little collaboration, but first I
Yeah.
believe you will be playing an excerpt of something for us.
I will be. I will be. This is just an excerpt from Adolphus Haystork. Hailstork, excuse me. He is a living black composer, and his music is really beautiful. We have quite a few pieces for flute by him, and I just want to play just an excerpt of the third movement. It's just a lento and just the ending. So here we go.
Oh man. Oh, all the feels. Um, that I mean the melody, of course, right? There's the yearning and the reaching, and then the reality, right? But what could be is not now. Um, and then the end of it, your little you held that, and then you just before you resolved
Yeah.
it, you
Hmm.
um
It's such a beautiful piece. I've never heard of it until
huh,
recently. More and more people are playing music by Black composers, which is
hmm,
phenomenal. And so many of them I've never even heard of. So this piece is called Flute
hmm.
Set. Simple as that. Four movements, about a page each, and they're just short, but pack a punch. They pack a
Hmm.
punch. So.
What's going through your mind when you play that little phrase there?
Yeah, I think of ups and downs. So it is an emotional roller coaster, but it still stays within this realm
Hmm.
here. So it's like you're bouncing kind of around this which is right here, that B flat
Hmm.
minor, that B flat minor. So you kind of just going around it. So it is, like you said, just ups and downs. It's really
Yeah.
emotional. It's a very
Well,
beautiful
and you can
piece.
see it in how you move too, right? It wasn't linear. You were moving circularly, right? Which I thought was really,
Mhm.
yeah, it really captures that piece. Thank you so much for that. Ah. Mm. Um, okay, now we're gonna be trading off. Trading off some phrases, some improvisational phrases. Oh, did I tune? That's good enough. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna bring out the alto flute. Is that okay?
Please, yeah, whatever you would like to break out. Um, okay, so the first one, would you like to let's have you go first on this one. The first off
Yeah.
is just a phrase that to you means home.
Something like that.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. My shoulders just
Yeah.
oh. Okay. All right, here's home. Is that how you go to sleep at night? You're just like, ah.
Exactly right. Yep, exactly right.
Okay, next one. Next one is okay, an instrument. A common nightmare, I think. An instrument malfunction nightmare. At least for musicians, right? You forgot your instrument, or your instrument broke, or yeah, any of that.
Hmm.
Um, yes. Okay. Instrument malfunction. Here we go.
I had to cover the ears of my flute.
Don't listen.
Don't listen.
We do not make sounds such as those. Uh, not in this house. Okay, next one. Going outside during the pandemic. Ooh, ooh. So,
A little something in
yeah.
there. It's like you're walking, and then someone's close by, and then they don't.
Okay, pandemic time, walking outside.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Okay, the last one, and I know that you are an avid baker, chef extraordinaire. Okay, well, I'll take out the extraordinaire so that you can
Please,
hang on to your
please.
humility. um, so, what would your instrument taste like?
Went from this major up a little bit and then ended in a minor. For me, my it would taste like a blend between like a hazelnutty vanilla with a little swirl of some type of a spicy
Woo!
caramel. Yeah.
Any like fruit notes in there, like a raspberry? No.
If I would probably have like a little like a
Hmm.
tangerine. Yeah.
Can we, when the pandemic is over, can we please go eat some cakes? Can we go taste some cakes?
You
I would
got
love
it.
to
You
taste
got it.
things with you and just appreciate your reaction. Um,
Oh,
what would
got
my
it.
instrument taste like?
Ooh, that's fun.
um,
Well, what would it be?
oh man. I'm thinking like definitely notes of some sesame in there. I don't it's not gonna
Oof.
taste good together, but the notes that I'm hearing are definitely some like nutty, savory sesame. But then at the end, like some citrus,
Ooh.
right? Some candied lemon, maybe.
Ooh. Okay. Oh.
Yes. Oh man, I can't wait to eat things. Now I'm just hungry. Thanks a lot, Adam. Oh wow. So okay, let's do the interview section. You moved around a lot. And where? I get this question a lot, right? I moved around a lot, and and people are like, "So where are you from?" And I'm gonna ask you that question. When people ask you that, where are you from?
I
Yeah.
I give them the whole thing. Like if you ask, you got to deal with the response. So I give them the whole thing. I start from the beginning. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, in 1985. We moved to Germany because my father was in the service. So I was probably about nine, no, it's like nine and a half actually, when we moved to about Kreuznach, Germany. Then we stayed there for 6 years, and then we moved to Wiesbaden, Germany, for 5 more years. So I'm like a Brooklyn, Germany hodgepodge. That doesn't Bermany. Bermany. Is that a word? Not really. Oh, I don't
Germlin.
know. Oh, I like that. Germlin. I like
Do
that.
you? It's like,
Yes.
hey, Germlin.
I like it though. I like it. Deutschlanden. No, that's a
Oh
great word.
yeah, Deutsch. Yeah,
Deutschland. No, that's a really word.
Deutschbrook. Deutschbrook.
Deutschbrook.
Deutschbrook.
I
Come stay in
like
Deutschbrook. Ah, that's nice.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that a lot.
Okay, nice. And when did you start flute?
I think I was like 11 or 12. What was it? So I played trumpet for
Hmm.
1 year. Um, hated that. And then I hated that because I got into an accident. I was on swings with some friends, and we were swinging, and you know how boys can get. Started doing a daredevil thing, and I dare you. It was like I dare you to jump off the swing. Um, and a friend of mine did it, and then they dared me. I dared you to jump off the swing and do this. I said, you know what? I would jump off the swing, and I'm gonna do this. Like, oh, they're all like, here goes Adam. He's about to do something. I, I mean, I was swinging so high, Joe. I mean, swinging so high that I that I jumped off and I landed on the side of
Ooh.
cement. I mean, there's two sides, but there was matted side and the cement side. Of course, I was swinging on the cement side. So I jumped off, and I thought I was going to land on my feet. I landed on my face.
Mm.
And then I got up, and my teeth went through my top lip like this. And all
No.
my friends were like, "Ew, dude, what happened?" I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" They're like, "There's blood everywhere." So I started freaking out, and I went to home. My mom is crying and freaking out. So then I developed this huge tissue, like that tissue here over some months. So playing trumpet right here was going to be extremely
Huh.
difficult. You can kind of still see it
Huh.
now. It's a little bit puffy
Yeah.
here. So I had to play the trumpet on the side like, like this. Can you imagine playing it on the side
Yeah,
of the
like
mouth? So
Chet Baker did that.
I didn't know those people back
Right.
then. I didn't know. I thought I was a weird one. So I was, you know what? This is not working out. Like I can barely play past that C. So let me just do
Switch
something
over to flute.
else.
That is amazing. That's a very dramatic reason for playing flute.
Right. And I had a friend that played the flute. I loved the way it sounded. So I would
Hmm.
take her flute home with me. She didn't
Hmm.
know. I would take it home with me on weekends, and I would practice it all throughout the second
Mm.
semester of that
Mm.
year. And then I said, this is the instrument for me. So then I
Mm.
switched.
Well, it's wonderful to see you then passing that joy and that passion on. You're program director at Bravo Youth
Mm.
Orchestras, and one of the things that I love about Bravo is collective composition and just kind of a model of classical music that I did not grow up with, which was what do you want to say? What do you want to play? And what would you compose? Right? I mean, encouraging all of these kids to be their own composer is beautiful. And then even just now, right? We just did this trade-off exercise, and this is not this would not really happen in most classical music settings, at least not while I was growing up. Why is improvisation so important to you?
When I was younger, around the time when I first started playing the flute, um, I fell in love with improvising. I fell in love. I would play back um, recordings of flute players, and I would just try to mimic what they were doing. And then I went on to start writing my own composition, but I was always afraid that it wasn't going to be well received because I didn't have that stature. I
Mm,
didn't have that stature. I wasn't a young Mozart. I wasn't any of that. So I always hid that. I hid it for many, many, many years. And I wish that I hadn't. So for me, that is in the forefront of my brain when I'm working with students in Bravo is to make them feel
mm,
powerful and let them know that whatever they bring, it is valued, it is important, and to not let anyone take that away from you because people will always do something that'll take your shine away from you. Um, so it is extremely important because it helps them express
huh,
themselves in a way that cannot be mimicked through a composition. So I love that. I love that part of what we do in Bravo. I also love the fact that we give the students leadership. If we let them do what they want to do, we can help you facilitate, but this is solely your idea. And I want you to be proud of the end product and say that you did this. You came up with this. You came up with the dance routine that another student created a beat
mm,
to. And on top of that, another student created some words, poetry to go with your music. You did
mm,
that. And then look at you, look who's in the crowd. Look at your mom crying. Look at your grandma. Look at your baby sister over here watching you.
mm,
Look at your oldest sister over here recording you and going to send it to your family across the globe. That's power.
mm.
That's power.
Woo! Preach, preach. I remember sitting in orchestra and and I understand why, right? I mean, like the conductor's working with the cellos, and I would just be like,
Well, you were that. You were
I
one of
was totally
those.
that kid, right? Totally that kid. Until they gave me power and put me in the front, and I was like, stop doing that. You guys like.
Amazing how
Funny
that
how that
works, huh?
works. But like this is it's a technique that I use now, right? Playing the violin like a guitar, and there are actually some classical pieces that have guitarre, but this was very much frowned upon, right, and seen as not innovation or um, being creative or exploring your own instrument, right? It was seen as being annoying, which I mean
Mm.
both can be true. Yeah. So that's amazing to hear that from the program director of a youth orchestra. That makes me hopeful. Yeah. Um, what? Let's change gears here. What do you do in your spare time?
Yeah. Spare time. Well, I love reading. So a couple of books that I've been reading is I don't know if you've heard of an author named Tomi Adeyemi. So she's written two books right now. And I think a third one is on the way. Actually, I have it here. So this is the second book. I'm almost done. It's called Children of Virtue and Vengeance.
Whoa.
So basically, she has created a whole world, and all the characters are all black and based in
Huh.
Africa. Look at this. So the first page, sorry, I'm going to try to show
Please.
it to you here. I mean, this is kind of like Middle
Oh
Earth, right?
yeah. Or
But it's
Redwall
like,
or any of those like fantasy books.
right. And this is basically just like a black version of Middle
Huh.
Earth. And it's amazing. It's so good. I love anything that's mythical with spells and magic. Oh, I live for that stuff. So this is all that and more.
Ah.
This is absolutely brilliant. So I'm almost done with the second book. It's powerful. So get it. It's suitable for young kids as well as
What's
adults.
the
Well,
first
not
book in that
super young.
series?
Children of Blood and
Okay.
Bone. Children of Blood and
Okay.
Bone. So, reading this one, I don't know if you know Julia Thompson, who I adore. She is a brilliant person. She is absolutely gorgeous inside and out. She's basically like my life coach
Oh.
guru. She suggested this book to me. So, I've been reading this. The Desire Map helped me to flesh out my goals and some future things that I want to do. Absolutely brilliant. And, you know, you might know I'm making these short little videos with children's book where I introduce children's books and I read a synopsis and I write an arrangement of different pieces through the acapella app. So I love children's books. I did a recent video on this
Hmm.
book, I'm Every Good
Hmm.
Thing, which is so brilliant. It's just about praising black
Hmm.
boys and that they can do anything. I am every good thing. So that, and I have a couple of other things that I'm working on the side I like to do for fun. So that's one of them, and I love it. I love the little videos that I make, and it's been inspiring kids and adults the same.
Amazing. I have been inspired as well. They're really well produced. It's like LeVar LeVar Burton, but then on top of that, you have music. It's amazing.
It's the at home C version.
Is there a place that people can find that? Find those videos? A good place?
Yeah, they can check it out on my YouTube channel, which is Adam Eccleston 3, I think.
Boom.
Actually, I'm not pretty sure. You can just find it. They have another one coming out on Monday for Women's History Month. Just kind of take a little while to make them,
Of
so I'm
course.
not producing them like every week type of thing. But it's been so fun. I mean, now I'm teaming up um, with the ICANN, which is the Children's Network. It's a radio station on All
Hmm.
Classical. Teaming up with them, getting some things done there with this. So it is awesome. Awesome.
Amazing. Um, oh my gosh. Uh, I love it. One of the final question, I guess, but um, you love the title humanitarian, and I'm kind of
Mhm.
curious why is that term so important for you, and how you approach the world.
That is brilliant. I'm so glad you bring that up. I feel like I am a humanitarian activist. For the longest time, I never felt like I was qualified to have that
Hmm.
title. Because I felt like I was always comparing myself, which is a big no, right? It's kind of like kiss of death. Always comparing myself to people like Mahatma Gandhi, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these M's, comparing myself to these people. I was not at their stature.
Hmm.
That is okay.
Hmm.
What I've learned is that my experiences, Joe, is what makes me me.
Hmm.
My experiences, all my traumas, all the good and the bad, it makes up who I am. And I can use all of that to make the world a better place. I have flaws. You have to be okay with your flaws. I don't always make the right decisions, okay? But I'm never above apologizing and making it better.
Hmm.
So for me, everyone can be a humanitarian. It doesn't have to be this thing that is so weighted down. These people, all of them, they started somewhere, right? They
Hmm.
started in their town, in their village, and it just grew, 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 grew. So for me, I'm all about equality, giving everyone a space. And one of the challenges that I'm facing for myself is understanding um, homelessness.
Mm,
It is something that growing up we didn't talk about, especially in Brooklyn, New York. There was homeless people everywhere. It's like
mm,
those are the people. That is what those are that is what society has regurgitated
mm,
onto the world.
mm,
Yeah, you stay away from those. You stay away from them. Don't help them because they're going to be like pigeons and they're going to keep coming. They are the filth. Yeah,
mm,
so stay away from them.
mm.
When I moved to Portland 6 years ago, almost 6 years ago, I've just seen how much the homeless population has grown tremendously.
Mm,
I've never seen like this anywhere before.
mm,
I want to know more. I want to help. I want to help. So I joined different groups that can advocate for people like that. It's just a realm for me that we just look down upon.
mm.
We look down on it, and it's like just don't even associate yourself with that. And
Yeah,
it's like
if you look at
these are
all,
human beings.
yeah. I mean, I remember, yeah, walking down the streets of Seoul with my mom as a kid, and seeing a homeless person, and my mom, I distinctly remember she would say, "Just don't look." Like
Mm,
literally, don't look at their existence. Let's pretend that they're not there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they all are not like that. I mean, some of them are just beautiful human beings
Mm.
that, unfortunately, life has gotten the worst of them.
Yeah, and how many
You know,
safety nets do you and I have, right? And right, I think that's one of the biggest takeaways, right?
absolutely.
Whether it's your identity, whether it's your family being removed from your life for whatever reason, it only takes one bad turn in life often to, right, to end up without a place to live.
Mhm, mhm,
You know?
mhm, mhm. So that is something that I am working on. I want to be better
Hmm.
at that, helping those people. So I'm trying. I'm trying.
Hug. Um, what do you have coming up? I know that you recently had an article published.
I'm so proud of it. So I had no idea it was going to blow up the way it did.
Huh.
Like I had no idea. So the article is about cake and music, the correlation between flute playing and music. And it's a radical approach, it's a radical idea. It's something I was thinking about. How can I bring together these two things that I love? And I know that this idea works as it worked for me. How can I bring this to the masses?
Hmm.
And I was thinking, well, maybe a few people might like it. I know that it's so radical that people be like, this is a joke. It is not, that has not been a response. It's been positive. People are already influencing me to make shirts called the Pied
Yes.
Piper Experience.
Yes.
I had a woman actually today who sent me a message on Facebook and saying, "Hi, I'm a fellow flute player. I read your article. I'm also a graphic designer, and I want to be on your team to make these shirts." I was
Yes,
like, "Oh
do
my
it.
gosh. Wow, wow, wow!" So it's it's awesome. I'll figure out how to send a link so people can read it.
It's I think reading that article, it is everything you are, right? It your expertise and your talent, right? But also your fun-loving, joyful side. All of those things, yeah, are you can see that in there. You should Everyone should go check that out. Do you have any performances coming up that we can check out?
I do. I have multiple. The one that I am really looking forward to is on April 22nd. It is All Classicals Thursdays at 3.
Woohoo!
So I'm looking forward to that. In terms of what I'm going to play, I don't know yet. Still got time to figure
Yes.
it all out.
I'd like to request what would your instrument taste like? Movement 3.
Done. Done.
Why not? I mean, then that's the cool thing, right? That's the thing that I remember learning a long time ago is a lot of these composers cadenzas were improvisational time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And then something happened. Something happened where so many people don't feel that they're qualified to do it. It's like
Stature.
you are qualified.
Yeah, yeah.
It's you. It's from the inside.
Mm,
No one can take that away from you.
mm. And that is the knowledge that you are passing on. And I am so grateful that you are doing that. I'm so grateful that you're part of Bravo. You're passing the torch so that many little flames can light, and people can take that knowledge forward and make beautiful things.
Thanks, Joe. You are amazing and a beautiful person. Thank you for having me here.
No, you are.
No, you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye. Amazing. Yeah, it's amazing stuff. Bonnie says PSU is interested in starting a choir for homeless folks, which is amazing. I had no idea that that's the case. I think that's beautiful and wonderful. I hope that gets going. Shout out to All Classical Portland, of course, and everyone who put it out there. Trailhead Coffee, of course, for hosting that conversation. All right, so oh man, so 2 weeks. In 2 weeks will be the last episode of Cup of Joe. That is correct. You heard me right. Cup of Joe is coming to a close. It's been 1 year, almost a year of Cup of Joe, and obviously a year of the pandemic. And I'm shifting gears a little bit to focus on writing a one-person show, putting that out there, and then there are a lot of new songs that I'm sitting on right now that I'll start to put out there, including the first one, which is called The Way Out, and it was created in conjunction with two different collaborators, Diego Garita, who's a high school choreographer in New York City, as well as Molly Mendoza, who's a visual artist here in Portland. And 100% of the benefits will go towards Pikun, which is it's Oregon's oldest Latino advocacy group. Supports farm workers, migrants, people who are looking at immigration, just all of those things. So it's also a bomb musical experience. So yeah, you can go online, jokai.com/thewayOut, and find out more. Next week or 2 weeks from now, because of The Way Out, we have my collaborators Diego Garita and Molly Mendoza, who will be joining us for that final episode of Cup of Joe. Make sure to mark your calendars and tune in for that. Thank you to all of Cup of Joe's supporting partners, including Bravo Youth Orchestra and Trailhead Coffee Roasters. Join the email list if you haven't done so already for some special goodies. And we're going to close it out like we do every week with a little improv. And this one, signs of spring. If you could put in the comments signs of spring that you have been noticing in your life, then we'll try to create something around that. So here we go. Signs of spring. see the crocuses poking their heads out of the ground. I hear the hummingbirds chirping and making a beautiful sound. Hey, Wayne. Thanks for stopping by. Get along. See you in 2 weeks. Bye bye.